Want to raise your vibration fast? These energy hacks work instantly. There's a secret to life most people never get to hear, let alone embody. It's not hidden in ancient temples or locked away in sacred scrolls. It's right here, right now, vibrating inside you. We've all heard the term raise your vibration, but what does it really mean? It's not just a trendy spiritual phrase. It's the key to unlocking your natural state of power, peace, and purpose. When you raise your vibration, you're not just feeling better. You're aligning with your highest timeline. You're tuning your body, mind, and soul into the frequency of miracles. And yes, it can happen instantly, but only if you understand how energy really works. Let's start with something most people never question. How do you actually feel right now? Don't just think about it, feel it. Is your body tense? Is your mind racing? Is there a subtle dullness in your chest, or maybe a pressure behind your eyes? These sensations are not random. They are signals. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every breath you take is broadcasting a frequency. You are a living antenna, and the universe responds not to your words or your wishes, but to your vibration.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
So, if you're wondering why life seems stuck, or why certain patterns keep repeating, look at your frequency. Not from a place of blame, but from a place of empowerment. Because the moment you become aware of your vibration, you can change it instantly. And that's where the real magic begins. That's where you stop being a passive observer of life and start becoming a conscious creator of it. I remember the first time I truly got this. I was in a temple in Southeast Asia, deep in meditation, and I felt stuck. Not physically stuck, spiritually stuck. I had been chasing peace, enlightenment, clarity, but all I found was silence that didn't speak back. Then, an old monk whispered something that shifted me forever. Don't seek the light, but become the frequency of light. I didn't understand it fully at the time, but I felt those words like electricity in my spine. And in that moment, everything changed. Not because the temple gave me something, but because I tuned into something I had forgotten was always inside me. So how do you raise your vibration instantly? Let's begin with the first and perhaps most underestimated hack, conscious breath. If you might think you already know how to breathe, but have you ever used your breath to change your frequency on command? Try this with me. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds and do that 3 times. Now pause. Feel that? That's energy moving. That's the nervous system recalibrating. That's your vibration shifting in real time. And the best part, you needed nothing outside yourself to access it. The breath is the original alchemist. It transmutes stress into power. It transforms fear into flow. It's always available, yet most of us use it unconsciously, shallow, restricted, reactive. But when you breathe with intention, you send a signal to every cell in your body that says, we are safe now. We are clear. We are rising. And your body listens. Your aura responds. The field around you changes. Now here's something wild. Your vibration doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. Have you ever walked into a room and felt someone's energy before they spoke a word? That's real. That's frequency. And you're doing it too, projecting your inner state into the outer world. So the question becomes, what are you broadcasting? And more importantly, do you know how to shift that broadcast on command? This brings us to the second energy hack, radical presence. Most people live in the future or the past, thinking about what went wrong or what could go wrong. But in doing that, they abandon the only place where their vibration can actually rise, the now. Presence isn't passive. It's not just being calm. It's an active state of deep engagement with life. It's when your awareness stops leaking into regrets or anxieties and anchors into this moment fully. When you are present, you are powerful. You are magnetic because your energy is not split. It is whole, and wholeness vibrates higher than any affirmation you can say. So how do you access presence instantly? One powerful way is through sensation awareness. Right now, feel your hands. Don't move them, just bring your attention to them. And feel the tingling, the heat, the pulse. Now feel your feet. Feel the weight of your body where it touches the chair or floor. And feel the air on your skin. This simple shift in focus pulls your consciousness out of thought and into embodiment. And when you're embodied, your frequency grounds. It strengthens. It stabilizes. Do you see what's happening here? These aren't just spiritual tricks. These are shifts in awareness. And awareness is the master key to everything. Because what you are aware of, you can transform. But what you're unconscious of will continue to run your life. Here's a question for you. What have you been tolerating in your energy field that is actually lowering your vibration? Is it a thought you keep thinking? A person you keep pleasing? A habit you keep repeating? And deeper still, what would happen if, just for one day, you chose to only do what raised your frequency? How would your life change if you treated your energy like your most sacred currency? We've only just scratched the surface, but already you can feel it, can't you? That subtle shift, that activation. It's because deep down, you already know this. You've always known. I'm not here to give you something you don't have. I'm here to remind you of what you are: energy, frequency, light. And when you remember that, when you reclaim that, you become unstoppable. This is just the beginning. In the next part, we're going to dive into the invisible architecture of reality itself. Because once you understand how the universe responds to your frequency, you'll never see life the same way again. The hidden frequencies of the universe, what you feel is what you attract. Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to attract miracles, opportunities, love, and abundance effortlessly, while others, no matter how hard they try, seem to struggle in a loop of resistance, lack, or chaos? It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's vibration. The universe doesn't respond to your wishes, it responds to your frequency. And here's the truth most people never hear. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. More specifically, you attract what you feel. And if you can master your internal vibration, your external reality has no choice but to rearrange itself to mirror your inner state. Vibration is not some abstract concept floating through space. It's measurable, it's emotional, it's energetic. Every emotion has a frequency. Gratitude vibrates high, shame vibrates low, joy, expansive and magnetic, fear, contracted and repelling. So when you say you want to raise your vibration, what you're really saying is, I want to shift the dominant emotional frequency I live in. And the moment you do that not once, but consistently, you begin to move into resonance with a higher timeline, a new set of people, events, and possibilities that were always available, but invisible at your former frequency. Let's talk about resonance. Energy flows where attention goes, yes, but energy also clusters around similar frequencies. Think about how radio stations work. If you're tuned to 88.9 FM, you can't hear what's playing on 101.3 until you shift your dial. It's not that 101.3 wasn't broadcasting, it's just that you weren't tuned in. Life works the same way. If you're vibrating at the frequency of fear, you can't hear the messages of love. If you're vibrating in scarcity, you can't receive the frequency of abundance. Shifting your vibration is like changing the station. And once you do, the entire soundtrack of your life changes. This is why trying to manifest from a place of desperation rarely works. You can write your affirmations 1,000 times, but if the dominant feeling behind them is lack, the universe will only echo that lack back to you. Because the universe is not reading your words, it's reading your energy. That's why doing inner work isn't optional. It's foundational. You can't fake your vibration. You can only face it, raise it, and live from it. And here's where it gets even deeper. Your vibration isn't just shaped by what you're thinking or feeling in the moment. It's shaped by what you've stored, old emotions, traumas, beliefs. If you've been carrying buried anger, grief, guilt, those frequencies become embedded in your energy field. They become the unconscious background music of your life, influencing your relationships, your decisions, even your health. So one of the fastest ways to raise your vibration is to clear what's been weighing it down. That's the real shadow work. Not just thinking positive, but feeling and releasing the emotions you've denied. Ask yourself this: what frequency are you most familiar with? Not what you want to feel, but what you usually feel each day. But is it lightness or heaviness? Hope or dread? Gratitude or resentment? This is not to judge, it's to bring awareness. Because once you see the pattern, you can shift it. And you shift it not by force, but by choice. By choosing, moment by moment, to align with the frequency that matches the life you want to live. Let me share something personal. There was a time when I was trying to get my life together, business, love, health, all of it. And I was doing all the spiritual things, meditating, journaling, visualizing. But something wasn't clicking. I still felt stuck. Then one day I sat in silence and asked, what am I really vibrating? And the answer came like a lightning bolt. I was vibrating mistrust. I didn't trust life. I didn't trust myself. And that mistrust was coloring everything. The moment I realized that, I dropped the techniques and focused on one thing: rebuilding trust. In my body, in my path, in the unseen. And as that frequency shifted, so did everything else. This is the invitation I'm extending to you now. Don't just chase high vibes, become the vibration you're seeking. Align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the version of you who already has everything you desire. Not someday, now, because that version of you already exists. In this moment, in this field, you just have to match it. And remember, Raising your vibration isn't about being high all the time. You're human. You'll have low days. That's okay. What matters is your baseline, your default, your return point. And with practice, that return point can become joy. It can become trust. It can become peace. But only if you're willing to feel everything that's not that and let it move through you instead of anchoring it inside you. In the next part, we're going beyond theory. We're stepping into action. I'm going to show you 3 real-world, practical energy hacks that work instantly, not just in your mind, but in your body, your field, and your reality. These are the tools I've used in the middle of breakdowns, on the edge of anxiety, and in moments of deep doubt, and they've never failed me. 3 unstoppable frequency shifts you can trigger right now. There are moments in life when you don't need more information, you need transformation. You don't need another book, another affirmation, or another podcast episode. What you need is to feel your energy shift, and to move out of anxiety and into clarity, out of heaviness and into lightness, out of stagnation and into momentum. And the truth is, you can trigger that shift instantly if you know where the switch is. Because energy, like electricity, flows when you flip the right circuit. And in this part, I'm going to show you 3 of the most powerful and immediate ways to raise your vibration, not just conceptually, but viscerally. These aren't fluffy spiritual routines. These are frequency recalibrators, and they work. The first hack is what I call embodied sound alchemy. It's simple, primal, and ancient. Your voice is not just for speaking, it's a vibrational tuning fork. Most of us live from the neck up, trapped in thought. But when you use your voice consciously, with sound, you bridge the gap between mind and body. You liberate stuck energy. Try this. Stand up, take a deep breath, and on the exhale, let out a loud, sustained aha, not a whisper, not polite. Let it come from your belly. Let it shake something loose. Do it again and again. Feel the vibrations ripple through your chest. This isn't about singing, it's about frequency. You are vibrating your own cells back into harmony. You are breaking up emotional congestion. You are reclaiming sound as a healing force. Now, if you want to level that up even further, pair it with movement. To shake your body. Literally shake. Start with your hands, then your arms, then your chest, then your legs. Let your body move like water, like electricity, like wildfire. Let go of how it looks. Let go of what anyone would think. Let go of being civilized. You're not performing, you're transforming. This is what indigenous cultures have known for thousands of years. Movement, sound, energy, release. And when you release blocked energy, guess what happens? Your natural frequency rises. You don't have to force joy. You become it. The second hack is what I call gratitude amplification, but not the way you're used to hearing it. This isn't about writing a list of things you're grateful for and moving on. This is about amplifying one single feeling until it floods every inch of your being. Choose one thing right now that you're grateful for. It could be a person, a moment, a memory, anything. Close your eyes. Picture it vividly. Hear the sounds. Feel the textures. Let the scene play like a movie. And then breathe into it like it's happening now. Let your heart expand with it. Let it overwhelm you. Let the emotion rise until tears come if they must. This is not mental gratitude. This is cellular gratitude. Why does this work? Because sustained emotion is magnetic. But when you hold the vibration of deep appreciation, the universe recognizes that signal and matches it. But you become a beacon, a transmitter. And what you draw into your life will reflect that broadcast. Not because you said the right words, but because you felt the right vibration. Gratitude is the frequency of receivership. And when you live in it, you stop chasing and start attracting. The third hack is perhaps the most radical and yet the most transformative. It's what I call radical energy boundaries. Let's be honest, your vibration isn't just shaped by what you do. It's also shaped by what and who you allow into your field. And sometimes the most powerful way to raise your energy is to cut what drains it. That means saying no when you're used to saying yes. It means unfollowing accounts that trigger comparison. It means walking away from conversations that pull you into gossip, fear, or scarcity. You are not obligated to stay available to energy that dims your light. Setting these boundaries isn't selfish, it's sacred. Because every time you say no to what lowers your frequency, you're saying yes to your higher self. You're saying yes to alignment, yes to clarity, yes to power, and yes to peace. The truth is, you can meditate for hours, journal for days, and do breath work until you're lightheaded. But if you keep exposing yourself to toxic environments or draining people, your vibration will always get pulled down. So ask yourself, what am I still allowing in my life that doesn't reflect the energy I want to live in? And more importantly, am I willing to release it, even if it's uncomfortable? These three hacks, sound and movement, amplified gratitude, and energetic boundaries, are not just tools. They are activations. They are reminders that you don't need to wait for a full moon, a retreat, or some perfect external condition. You can shift your vibration right now. You can choose a new frequency right now. You can claim your power right now. And when you do, everything around you begins to move. People show up, opportunities unfold, synchronicities explode. Why? Because the universe isn't responding to your timeline, it's responding to your vibration. In the final part, we're going to go where few ever dare, the quantum leap. I'll show you how to not just raise your frequency temporarily, but how to lock it in permanently and step into a whole new energetic identity. This is where the real shift happens, not just in what you feel, but in who you are. Locking in the shift, becoming the frequency you were born to radiate. So here we are. You felt it. The shift. That subtle but undeniable rise in energy when you move from thought to embodiment, from fear to presence, from effort to alignment. And yet, here's the real question: how do you stay there? How do you lock in that frequency so it doesn't just visit you during meditation or a high-vibe morning, but becomes your new normal? Because let's be honest, anyone can feel good for a moment. But true transformation happens when that elevated vibration becomes your baseline. But when it's not something you chase, but something you are. The truth is, The universe doesn't respond to what you do occasionally. It responds to what you habitually embody. That's the secret, and it starts with identity. If you still see yourself as someone trying to raise your vibration, you're reinforcing the idea that you're not already there. But when you shift your self-perception to "I am someone who lives in alignment, who radiates peace, who operates from joy," you stop trying. You start being. And when you become the frequency, you no longer have to force the results. They flow. So how do you lock it in? First, you have to ritualize your energy. Just like brushing your teeth or eating meals, raising your vibration has to become part of your daily rhythm, not a chore, a sacred practice. Even 5 minutes a day embodied breath, gratitude immersion, conscious stillness will begin to rewire your default state. Frequency responds to consistency. So ask yourself, what's the first thing you check when you wake up? Your phone or your energy? Because the way you start your day sets the tone for your vibration. Begin with intention and the rest aligns. Second, you must surround yourself with frequency mirrors. This means people, environments, music, art, nature, anything that reflects back the vibration you want to live in. Energy is contagious. So if you constantly absorb low-vibe conversations, content, or chaos, you'll unconsciously match it. But when you place yourself in energeric environments, when your inputs match your desired output, you begin to entrain to a higher frequency. You rise without even trying. So be ruthless in your curation. Not from judgment, but from devotion. You're not just protecting your peace, you're cultivating your power. Third, and perhaps most powerfully, you must act from the vibration you want to lock in. Not react, not wait, but act. If your desired frequency is abundance, ask yourself, how does abundance walk, speak, move, decide? Then embody that. If your desired frequency is love, how does love breathe, respond, listen? Then live that. This is not fake it till you make it. This is a legnanti you become it, because your nervous system doesn't respond to your affirmations, it responds to your behavior. When your actions match your vibration, reality has no choice but to mirror it. Now I want to ask you something deep. Who are you when no one is watching? What frequency do you broadcast in your quiet moments when the world isn't applauding or judging? Because that's the vibration that creates your life. And when you begin to live from that place consciously, unapologetically, consistently, something wild happens. You begin to attract experiences that feel like remembering, not striving. You begin to create from overflow, not scarcity. You begin to meet people who match your soul, not your wounds. That's not magic, that's alignment. This is what it means to become the frequency. It's not about being high all the time. It's about being honest all the time and choosing, again and again, to come back to your truth, to your core, to your inner current of power. That's how you lock it in. Not by being perfect, but by being present. Every time you return to your breath, your body, your essence, you're reinforcing the signal, strengthening the field, remembering who you really are. You're not here to chase energy, you're here to radiate it. And when you do, when you truly own your frequency, the world around you shifts to meet you there, faster than you imagined, deeper than you believed, more beautifully than you ever planned. You are the signal. You are the source. You are the shift. Now go live it.